Hello and welcome again to another episode of the Communist Hour with your host, the Mass Communist. Getting back to the conversation that was in episode 4, um, with the candidates not really having the intestinal fortitude that they ought to. We have a story here. Um, okay, here. We have new candidates that are trying to gain racial favor, which in any case, race should never be an issue on any of these elections. Uh, Here it says, when talking about his plan for Cuba, Romney said he wondered how anyone could expect Obama to stand up for the Cuban people when his administration remains largely silent during the Iranian uprising in 2009. He watched across the world as Iran had over 1 million people take to the streets demonstrating for freedom. This country had nothing to say. Romney said you can imagine Ronald Reagan having nothing to say in that situation. Even Bill Clinton would have said something. Gingrich criticized Obama for meeting with Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. He also explained how Obama's restrictions on producing domestic energy, including his rejection of the Keystone XL pipeline from Canada to Texas, was harming the country's influence and security abroad. Now, to me, going and slamming another race just to gain some sort of favor to become president, it makes no sense. It's just, it's ridiculousness. These people are supposed to be trained professionals, and yet they're attacking races by saying that Obama, for some reason, is against any sort of Hispanics or anything. It's ridiculous. It should never happen, ever. Because, quite honestly, so far we've had an actual diversity of presidential candidates. I mean, President Obama, for instance, he's part black, and I believe he's part Hispanic. So it makes no sense to me why these people would openly go out and tell them that he has either some sort of favoritism or he's completely against any sort of Hispanics, because that's ridiculous. Realistically, Obama is one of the few candidates that I've actually seen. I'm completely not in favor of Obama. I'm not actually in favor of any government official, whether it be president or any of the candidates. I'm not for them nor against them. I'm completely non-biased. But Obama, it seems through his actions that he's actually trying in some way to go through with his election promises. I mean, sure, there are some things that he has to do, redirect certain things in order to get through his promises, but he is convincingly trying to go through with all of his promises that he made before the election. And some people see the programs that he's redirecting and trying to revamp so that he could go through with his election promises as somehow unfavorable. Because these programs that he's working on, some of them only work for a select few, and a few of the other programs, they have no real place. They just don't. They're not cost effective, there's no return from them, nothing. It's just a worthless programs that are out there that only help a select few, and the select few who are complaining about it are they're honestly going the route of politician. trying to get people against it by throwing out slander and other things that are completely untrue. As I said before, I am not for any of the candidates, nor am I backing the president at all. I'm just simply making an observation of what I've seen from his actions. It seems he's actually trying, but I honestly wouldn't really know. Because I am not for them, I don't follow them, as as is suggested, I am a utopian communist. I may back a utopian communist candidate. That all depends on what their standing is, depending on the time that they decide to become president or try to go for a presidential election. But still, there's no guarantee that I would back a utopian communist candidate. There's a high possibility if they are actually following the rules set forth in the Utopian Communist Party. But getting back, there's another story here. President Obama. Right here in one of the articles, it says, "Nobody envies rich people." Obama told the House Democrat retreat in Cambridge, everybody wants to be rich. The question is, Obama added, "We are creating opportunities for everybody," arguing that the United States needs more investments in items like education. Obama said he will continue to push hard for a rule requiring millionaires to pay a tax rate of at least 30%. Mitt Romney, whose tax rate is close to 15% because of investment income, has accused Obama of practicing the politics of envy. Romney, Newt Gingrich, and Rick Santorum, who are battling it out for the Republican nomination, have also accused Obama of engaging in class warfare. Now, in complete and total honesty, I don't really care about class warfare. It's completely up to whoever decides that they want to go for it. Seriously, I do think that rich people, they have the money. They can pay the extra taxes. They can make up the extra percentages that aren't able to be brought up by low-income households. So I see no reason why the rich can't get a little less rich so the poor can get a little richer. I mean, it's a complete and total, how would you say it? It's like a Robin Hood situation. You steal from the rich, give to the poor. There's more stuff around for the poor, and more stuff for the rich as well. Because if you have this extra money that's going toward people who are lower income, which makes up the majority of the United States, it's completely reasonable to say that the economy may go up. Because if poor people have more money in their pockets to spend, and rich people have a little less to hold in their pockets and not spend, which is where most of our economy is at the moment, is it's sitting in millionaires' pockets, not going anywhere, not doing anything. It's just sitting there of no use. They're not using it. So if some of their funds could end up in the pockets of less fortunate people, I have no problem with it. And honestly, if I had $3 million in my bank account right now, I would expect to pay more taxes because I have more money. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I have millions to spend. And yet, rich people are getting bent out of shape because they are holding on to all of their money, not wanting to give it to anybody, not using it for anything. And quite simply, They're the ones who are killing our economy. Multi-billion-dollar organizations are halting our economy from expanding. Much in the way that I explained why money is a barbaric system, rich people are the perfect example of why it is barbaric. Because these people have the money to spend, they don't want to spend it, and in the end, where's the shiny rocks? Where are the pictures for the rest of humanity? It's all sitting in somebody's bank account, not being used. And these multi-billion-dollar companies, pretty much all they spend it on is lining their pockets, paying their bills, paying the minor cost of paying their employees, paying the utility bills and for the products of their businesses, and that's it. It doesn't go anywhere else. These people come in, they pay twice as much for $1 toy as what it actually costs. Most $1 toys cost somewhere around 15 to 25 cents a piece, and they charge $1 for it. And that's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, the price of a $1 toy is charged at almost 400% of the cost to purchase the item and have it shipped. And these companies are taking advantage of that and using it to line their pockets rather than stimulate the economy, which is extremely low right now. As I said in the previous airing, Washington State has a 19% unemployment rate, the lowest in the country. And the entire reason is these fat cats sitting in their $1 million mansions right now, they just have the money sitting in their bank account. Rather than going off and finding these areas where there's a 8% and even up to 19% unemployment rate, purchasing land there and generating jobs by starting more businesses, starting more facilities to hire more employees, get the employees paid, and stimulate the economy. These companies don't want to do this because all they want to do is draw that income into their bank account. So it sits and does nothing. So quite literally, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Which is, it's ridiculous. Our world should be in a state right now where everybody should have something. And with a 19% unemployment rate, and half of those people can't even get benefits from any sort of agency, whether it be food stamps or TANF or anything like that, they can't get it because it's all taken up by other people who are unemployed, can't find jobs anywhere. Well, I'm going to have to end my show. Hopefully, this has been enlightening for you, and within the next few days, I should have another episode out. I hope you found this episode stimulating, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.